So I'm 38 years old and I'm able to stay jacked year round because of these five key things that I do that you probably don't. I'm going to explain to you exactly what they are right now. Key number one is striking distance. What this is being within 8 to 10 pounds of your ideal weight, your perfect physique year round. So if you have a wedding, if you have a tournament, if you have a vacation, if you have a cruise, anything like that, you're never more than 8 to 10 pounds away from that weight. That's a roughly 4 to 5 weeks max of dieting at any time of the year to be in your peak physical condition. Okay. So, how do we do this? Every single day, we wake up, we use the bathroom, we weigh in, and we look at the mirror. If our condition in the mirror is good and our weight's up, it's okay. If our condition in the mirror is soft and our weight's up for more than 3 days in a row, we have to reel it back in. And we go into a 700 to 1,000 calorie aggressive diet for 1 to 2 weeks just to get back within striking distance. Okay. This makes it a lot easier to stay lean year round because you're always really close to it. You're checking the mirror daily. You're checking your weight daily. It starts to creep up and run away for 3 days or more. Okay, it's time to reel it back in. We get back on the diet, back on the wagon, and just start getting cut up again. By staying like this year round, you're able to stay just jacked year round. And it's a great feeling and super motivating. That's key number one. Okay. Key number two is you have to track your calories and your macros to some extent. It doesn't have to be perfect. I've done this for years and I could ballpark it. I can measure my protein pretty easy. When you're new though, you might have to weigh everything and track everything in MyFitnessPal. What gets tracked gets measured, okay? What gets measured gets managed. If you don't measure it, it doesn't get managed and it runs away. So how do we do this? Pretty simple. Food scale, just to weigh in the foods or eat the same things every day around the same portions. We do 2 meals a day that are just to hit our macros, really. They're not the funnest meals. Maybe it's just a protein shake with some fruit, or maybe it's a chicken salad or, chicken rice and broccoli, typical bro food. And then we have a third meal a day that's more enjoyable, more pleasurable. Could be even be a social meal. If I know I have something social going on that night, I save all my fats and most of my carbs for later in the evening so I could have that steak and a few french fries or a shake or something like that. You have to plan for all this, okay? The main key with this is eating the things you like. If you're on a diet, you cut all the weight and you're not eating any of the stuff you like, you're going to crave it. And you're going to balloon back up when you're off. You have to find a way to enjoy the things you like to maintain this lifestyle and this look year round. That's key number two. You have to track, you have to measure. Okay. Key number three, you need to move, you need to walk 10,000 steps every single day. 8 to 12,000 is the minimum, which I recommend to anybody. It can be done pretty easily once you get into the swing of things. Okay. If you're not doing this, though, you're not going to optimize. It helps with insulin sensitivity. It helps with hunger. It helps with fat distribution. And it overall just helps keep you leaner year round when you're able to move daily, 10,000 steps. If you rest, you rust. Movement is life. Okay. So every single day, we're getting in 10,000 steps. It takes around 100 minutes of walking. So, how do you break that up? 3 meals a day, 20-minute walk after each meal, 10-minute one direction, 10 minutes back. There's 60 minutes. Now you have 40 minutes left over. You go to the gym, start off with 15 minutes of cardio, end with 15 minutes of cardio. Nothing crazy, just a nice brisk walk. Okay. That gives you about 90 minutes right there. Maybe it's a little less than 90 minutes. As long as you're fairly active and moving around the house a bit, you're not going to have a problem. If you're a pilot, if you're a truck driver, if you have a desk job, you're going to have to put in effort to do it. Or the days which you're free that you're not doing those jobs, you're going to have to get more steps. There's no other way around it. You have to get your daily steps. If you rest, you rust. Okay. Nobody jacked year round is doing it without movement, without doing a little bit of cardio, without watching their calories. Okay. So that's key number three. You have to get your steps in. You have to move. Key number 4, the workouts. You need to lift weights 4 to 7 days a week. You don't have to go to the gym 7 days a week, even though I do, but you have to lift weights or do workouts 4 to 7 days a week. 7 days a week is ideal because it keeps you totally locked in. You don't have to kill yourself every single time. You could reduce the intensity so that you can recover better. But by having a daily workout, it keeps you intentional. It keeps you locked in. When you just finish the gym or you just finish your push-ups and your walk and your burpees or whatever, you're not going to go kill a sleeve of Oreos. You're not going to go want a beer. You aren't going to want to throw away all that hard work you just did. Okay. So keep that in mind. Now, as far as intensity goes, you don't have to train like you're going for a scholarship or, you're going to win some competition. You're just training for health. You're just training to look good. So don't use your ego and be max deadlifting and bench pressing where you might injure yourself and set yourself back. This is a long-term thing. It's long-term sustainability. I'm 38 years old. I'm not getting accepted to fucking Harvard. I'm not going to go to fucking Notre Dame. I'm not going to be in the NFL. There's no point for me to train like some psychopath and just get hurt for my own ego to tell some guy at the bar, how much you bench, bro. There's no point in doing this. Okay. So that's key number 4. You need to lift weights 4 to 7 days a week. Okay. Now, the final key number 5, we maintain the same eating patterns that we did to get ripped. So, everybody, I recommend fasting. Why? It's not magical, but it makes it way easier to stay locked in and you get to have larger meals because you have a smaller eating window. Okay. So, you have to cram your calories into, say, an 8-hour window instead of a 12-hour window. That's less time that you have to worry about getting all these calories in. So we're going to fast every single day. I like to fast till noon to 2 p.m. First time I get hungry, I hydrate with electrolytes, some salt, and some Crystal Light. Second time I get hungry, I caffeinate. Third time I get hungry, if it's still early, I caffeinate again. If not, if it's between 11, 12, and 2 p.m., I have my first meal. First meal for me is always something kind of boring, egg white omelet, protein shake, nothing crazy, but it saves my carbs and fats for later in the day so I could have something more enjoyable, like a hamburger, like some tacos, like a burrito, maybe some pasta or a sweet treat. Okay. But we need to keep the same exact patterns. Okay. We're fasting till about noon to 2 p.m. Have our first meal. 2 to 3 hours later, maybe 4 hours later, have our second meal. 2 to 3 hours later, 3 to 4 hours later, we have our final meal, usually an hour to 2.5 hours before bed. That's it. It's simple. We don't do carnivore. We don't do keto. We don't do this. We don't do that. We don't reinvent our diets every single season. We stick to what works, and that's it. You just, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. What got you there will keep you there. Okay. Whatever you did to achieve the goal, you now need to do that to maintain it. And the only way you're going to do that is by not changing shit up all the time. You're just going to keep the same exact eating protocol that got you there in the first place. Okay. So, recap: striking distance, never getting more than 8 to 10 pounds away from your ideal weight and ideal physique. Okay. If you look good in the mirror, it's okay to be a little bit heavier. If you start looking soft and sloppy, it's time to reel it back in. 2, we need to track the calories. If you don't know what you're eating, if you're not tracking, it's going to run away really quick. 3, movement. You need to get your steps in every single day. If you rest, you rust. If you rest, you rust. Don't forget that. 4, workouts, 4 to 7 days a week, ideally 7 days a week. Don't have to go crazy, kill yourself 7 days a week. You could just do basic workouts. Okay. Even if you have a day where you only do a set of 100 push-ups and a set of, or 4 sets of 25 to do 100 push-ups and, 100 total squats, anything that keeps you intentional and focused is really important. Okay. So 4 to 7 days a week, we're getting it. We're getting it. We're getting it. And the days we're not getting it in the gym or getting it with our workouts, we're still getting our steps in. We're still tracking. We're still checking how we look in the mirror. And the fifth and final one, maintain that same eating pattern. We're fasting until noon to 2 p.m. Kind of have a boring meal that's just hitting the goals, some kind of bro meal, some kind of shake. If you get away with it, like ceviche is great. Ceviche is delicious. It hits your protein. It's fairly low fat. It's fairly low carb, and it saves room for calories later to have more fun with the fats and the carbs. That's perfect. Your next meal, whether it's a chicken salad, chicken and broccoli, lean cut of pork, turkey patty, lean beef, whatever it is, you're saving room for that third meal to be enjoyable, social. If you're out on a date, out with some friends, you have some work obligation. Okay. But we're going to maintain this same eating pattern all year long. This is just how we eat now. We don't do freaking keto and load up on butter and bacon. We don't do carnivore and, oh no, we're not allowed to have sweet potato because our ancestors didn't have sweet potato, but you could have a little bit of honey. Dude, all that to me is just a big joke and it's not maintainable long term. If you can't eat the things you like, you're never going to maintain a lifestyle long term. Lastly, if it's your girlfriend's birthday, if it's your birthday, if it's Christmas, if it's Thanksgiving, if it's freaking the end of Ramadan, if it's Shabbat, enjoy your food. It's one day. Don't go crazy with it and blow your whole diet, but enjoy yourself. Okay? Enjoy yourself. It's one day. Don't be so obsessed. You have to live your life and you have to enjoy yourself. All right? Peace out.